What is packing with you, YouTube? Cage TV back with another video. And while the world is going crazy over Cat Williams, Donald Trump, uh, the NFL playoffs, the Green Bay Packers, the greatest football team in sports history, is trying to find a new defensive coordinator after the firing of Joe Barry. And this is like my first initial reaction to it. First of all, I want to say that thank you, Joe Barry, for everything you've done for this team. And I'm not the type of guy that roots for people getting fired from their job. At the end of the day, that man has a family that he has to provide for, and I wish him nothing but the best, man, moving forward in his career. Now that he's out of the building, Matt LaFleur has a big decision to make regarding who's going to replace Joe Barry at the defensive coordinator position. Now, there's a whole lot of names being thrown around, and the Green Bay Packers have been having interviews with, several defensive coordinators so far, and there's probably going to be plenty more to come. Me personally, I don't have any specific guy that I think we should go out there and get, because at the end of the day, this is going to be all Matt LaFleur's decision. And I just want him to pick the right guy for the job. We need a defensive coordinator that is going to help us get over the hump, propel us to get to the Super Bowl. The last few defensive coordinators that we had, Joe Barry, Mike Pettin, Don Capers, it just didn't quite work out like we wanted it to. And this defense is going to change. We don't know whether that's going to be for the good or for the bad. We know there's going to be some defensive players that were here last year that won't be here this next upcoming season. We have holes to fill. And without that, knowing that, without a defensive coordinator, you can't move forward with the type of defense you want to put on the field. So, I leave all of that in Matt's hands. I have no favorite, a lot of these guys that's on this defensive coordinators list at one point in time in the past did have some kind of connection to the Packers. So, whether it's an in-house guy or one of these guys that's on the list, Jim Leonard, Al Harris is off the board. Al Harris is going to follow Dan Quinn wherever he goes. Plus, Al Harris said he doesn't want to be a head. He doesn't want to be a defensive coordinator for a team. He's more of a technique, skill guy. He likes to help guys get better with their skills. So that's the area he would rather, stay in. And, hey, more power to him. Wink Martindale from the Giants. Who else you got? Ron Rivera, Leslie Frazier. So it's a lot of guys. I'm hearing that they might be talking to a couple of guys that are on the Ravens defensive staff. So whenever you get a coach from a good team, sometimes those players that like that coach will follow that coach. So it's a win-win situation at this point with whoever we get from one of these teams that were playoff contenders. Of course, you got to look in the backgrounds and the history. And, of course, the Green Bay Packers are going to call up these different organizations and coaches that's within these organizations to see how these guys' attitudes are around the players. But the main thing is that whoever Matt LaFleur brings in as the new defensive coordinator is going to have to match the culture in the locker room. It's going to have to match the culture in the locker room. Now, you look at guys like Bill Belichick, right? Who just got overlooked for the Falcons head coaching position. I think Raheem Morris got the head coaching position over there. And when you look at a hire like that, you're like, yeah, that's a good hire, because you don't know how Bill Belichick is going to respond to the culture in the locker room. You got a lot of young guys in the NFL now. You're starting to see a lot of these old coaches get weeded out. And you're starting to see a lot of young guys get the gigs now, get the head coaching spots now. Not saying that there's nothing wrong with the older guys in the league. They do provide a lot of wisdom with the coaching experience that they do have. But like I said, the NFL is going with this youth movement. You're starting to see a lot of old get replaced and a lot of new come into those spots and take over. So you're seeing it at the quarterback position right now within the NFL. So when it comes to the defensive coordinator, there has to be a certain type of energy that Matt LaFleur is probably going to be looking for. Something that's going to keep the defense engaged the whole season. It's going to have to be somebody that the defense wants to play for. You think about guys like Antonio Pierce, who's now the head coach for the Raiders. You see how he galvanized those guys to go out there and play good football. You know what I'm saying? So, Matt, do your job, man. This is a brand new era of Packers football. I'm excited to see what the future is going to unfold for this team. Of course, there's going to be a lot of changes with this team, and I'm excited to see what Matt is going to do. But the first priority as of right now, before we start even getting into free agency and drafting and all the off-season stuff going on and who's going to stay and Jordan Love's contract and just everything with the offseason, because football is a 365 24/7 type of job. Even though we're not in the playoffs no more, football never ends. Football starts now, where where the organizations and the coaches and the GMs have to come together and try to put together a team, a winning team, and a team that's going to represent the brand. Just thinking about the season we just had, it's a lot to look forward to, and I still expect to see some ups and downs with this team going forward in the future. But I think we're on the right trajectory, the right path of possibly seeing the Green Bay Packers, getting deep in the playoffs. Yeah, whoever is going to come in the building to help aid this team to a championship, it has to be the right guy. Like I hear, oh, we need to go get Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick is not interested in being the defensive coordinator. Bill Belichick is interested in being a head coach. You know what I'm saying? And I wish Bill Belichick, could have just, tried to push his luck with trying to win a ring with the Green Bay Packers as the defensive coordinator. But having Bill Belichick in the same room with Matt LaFleur, I think the media will probably run a little wild with that. You know what I'm saying? Matt LaFleur needs to step down and let Bill Belichick coach. You'll start hearing that horse shit in the media. and I don't think that'd be good for Matt LaFleur, especially turning his team around like he did this season. So whoever the guy is, man, whoever the man is, whoever Matt picks, it has to be a guy that's going to be able to adapt to the culture in the locker room, be a guy that the players are going to, their attendants are going to turn up and be attentive to, the scheme. They got to buy into the scheme. These changes have to benefit nobody but the players. So, Matt, take your time with this, Matt. Take your time. We still got 3 games left in the season. We got the AFC Championship, NFC Championship, and then we got the Super Bowl. So, take your time with this, Matt. Take your time. Right after whoever gets eliminated in the championship games, there will be a lot of coaches to talk to and evaluate and interview. Just let's not jump the gun. Let's not move too fast with this decision, because ultimately, Matt, you picked 2 bad defensive coordinators already. This time you have to bring in the right guy. Like, you really have to bring in the right guy. Jair's getting older. Kenny Clark's getting older. You have Rashawn Gary going into his 6th season, and a guy still hasn't accumulated double-digit sacks in a season. So you got Eric Stokes injury to worry about. So Matt, you have to bring in the right guy in the defensive room. You have to bring in the right guy. So if I'm Matt LaFleur, I'm taking my time. I'm even talking to Goot, getting Goot involved to see if he got any connections out there to where we could find the right guy to bring in the building to put us over the hump and get us to that next level of bringing Lombardi back home. So, yeah, man, with that being said, man, good luck to Matt LaFleur, man, because this is a big decision right here. You know what I'm saying? You finally got the offense going, and, the defense came on strong at the end of the year under the tenure of Joe Barry, and you want to bring in somebody who's going to keep the momentum going and build on the momentum throughout the season. So, yeah, Matt, do not rush this. Do not rush this. Wait, take your time. There's still coaches out there, even though they might be busy in these championship games this weekend and some might be in the Super Bowl, but take your time, Matt. There's no need to jump right in and get a coach. All of these coaches, they going to be circling and cycling around to other different teams that they got interviews with. So, you have to bring in the defensive coordinator that wants to be in Green Bay. Not a guy that's just trying to get a paycheck. That wants to be in Green Bay. That sees this defense as being a defense with high potential that can possibly crack top 10 in defense. So, you got a lot of these guys that, from the college level, that you interviewing. College and the NFL is a totally different thing. So, however you work it out, Matt, just make sure you bring in the right guy. And with that being said, man, I'm looking forward to seeing who Matt brings in. I really don't. To be truthfully honest, I really don't know what Matt is thinking. But all we could do is just wait and see. So, yeah, man, I'm out of here. Go Pack Go.